All right. I'm Ginger.
And I'm Brooke.
And we're still here. I have to move my thing that I just made. Okay. So let's start with kids. What's something from this week that stuck with you?
Something from this week. I've been trying to think. So, you know what? I'm going to share this one. I feel like most of mine have been about Jones lately, and it's going to be about Jones again today, because it was really cute. He's so excited that for the next orchestra concert that's coming up.
Yep.
There's I guess going to be like a specific group of cellists that perform kind of a solo ensemble piece or whatever.
Right.
And he's the only one out of his class that was selected to play with the chamber.
Oh, wow.
And he's so excited. And it was so cute to see him get that excited. He has worked so hard.
Yeah.
And practices constantly at home by himself. He loves playing the cello, and it's so cute to watch him like get excited about watching his hard work like pay off and come to fruition. And so like it's really cute watching him get that excited.
Who would have thought that orchestra would be such a huge part of our lives?
No.
Yeah,
I never would have guessed.
Yeah, I've never thought that either one of my kids. I mean, I thought they'd be into music, I guess, because we're so into music, but never orchestra. I never thought this would be a thing. I never thought we would be going to like the DSO so often, or even like seeing musicals because that have like live orchestras, and that my kids would be like, and I mean, my other one is wildly not excited about orchestra, but I just never thought this would be like a part of our lives.
Yeah. I mean, my family is not musical.
Yeah.
And we were always like the sports family. And that's what I always anticipated. And I mean, like, I think I've got one that's somewhat left in like a sports thing, but the other two are just not. Jones and Virginia, like, I don't think it's their thing.
Yeah.
Which is weird to me. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. We're definitely not a sports family. I played sports in high school because I had to. John is definitely not a sports fan, thank God, because we don't do the sports stuff.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, we sail, I guess. We're a sailing family, which is a sport, which is technically a sport.
I've learned.
Yes. But, that's not something that the football or the basketball or the other balls, we don't participate in. But now lacrosse, right? So orchestra and lacrosse. I still don't know all the rules to lacrosse. I know when to cheer. I know when to yell at the refs, but I don't always know what I'm yelling for, but I do know when to do it. I mean, it's basically when everybody else around me is doing it, but I like,
yes,
because sometimes know, most of the time I know the score. I always know the score.
You do?
Yep.
A lot of times I know the score.
Yes, because I have to keep track, and so I have to text it to somebody. Yeah, if John's there with me, I text it to you because I text it to John when he's not there. But that's how I keep track, because they don't use the scoreboards or whatever. So it's hard because they're high-scoring games too. I mean, it's not like soccer or anything. It's like, so my turn. Can it be my turn?
Yes.
A moment from this week with your kids that I keep thinking about. So we were out of town. We went to a concert this last weekend. So my mom had like kid duty and took Henry to both his games. And on Saturday, he won his game, and it was like 14-4.
Ooh.
Wow. The only game this season that they have won. But I like missed it. And also, he had a game on Sunday too, and they didn't win, but they just lost by 1. And my mom said he did really well, and he was really proud of himself. So he did really well. He has actually done really well this season. He's actually moved so they have 2 goalies. So he plays the first half. The second goalie plays the second half, and the second goalie is like the closer, right? So, but in the last 3 weekends, Henry has either played the entire game or was the closer. And so I think he's like improving so much. Yeah, I mean, he basically like changed positions, that he's like the closer goalie now, which means he's the better goalie on the team. And he's super proud of himself and he loves it. He's getting like private goalie lessons, not just like lacrosse camp or whatever, this summer. And so I think it's really going to up his game, and I'm like super excited about that. But also, like, we came home on Sunday, and Henry was like, that was my last game, like, season's over. And I was like, no way, like, it says on the thing that you have practice and then you have playoffs and all this stuff. And so I texted the main mom, the mom who knows it all, and yeah, it's over. Like, I missed it. I missed his last game.
Yeah.
I missed his last 2 games. And I mean, that sucks, and I can't, like,
I mean, not
whatever.
his last 2 games ever.
Oh no, not for
Because he's
sure.
going to
Right.
play again.
But it was like, I don't know. I wouldn't have canceled this trip if I knew it was his last game.
Sorry.
So it would have been his last game if I knew it or not, right?
Right.
But I didn't know. And so, yeah, that's a little like,
Especially, I think,
Stab
like,
you in the heart.
knowing how good he did.
yeah,
And that he was that excited about how good he
Right.
did. Like, there's so many things where you're just like, what?
yeah, they won their game. And it was a little like, oh, I'm sad. Like, man, but he didn't care. Like, he legit is like, whatever. But for me, like, for a mom, like, for my mom
Yes.
guilt, it's, yeah, it was piled on pretty hard for me. All right. So is there a moment where you realized you don't know your kids as well as you thought you did? Like, is there a moment that your kid, like, surprised you?
Oh.
Like, you thought you knew them, and then they did something good or bad that you were like, oh, I don't really know you.
I don't know. I don't have anything, like, specifically that's jumping out to make me think of something that they've done, whether good or bad. I mean, I think the bad stuff with my kids, or the sad, or whatever you want to categorize it, like, I don't ever feel caught off guard, because I feel like I do know my kids. It may catch me off guard to how extreme some of it has gotten.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm surprised by anything that's happened.
Right.
I can't think of anything.
Yeah. I have one for Harrison, and it's like from a long time ago. I mean, it just happened, but it was from a long time ago. And I know that you know the story, but so Harrison was in kindergarten, and I picked him up from the rock, and he was in trouble. And Harrison doesn't get in trouble. Harrison is like the golden child who, like, never does anything wrong. He's always thoughtful. He's always polite. He's always the things. I don't know how he got that way. Who raised him? No idea. Like, kid raised himself, right? Anyway, so I pick him up, and he's in trouble for cussing in kindergarten. And I was like, no way. Like, and I hate those parents who have those, like, bratty ass kids who get in trouble all the time, and the parents are like, my kid's perfect. There's no way my kid would ever do that thing.
Yeah.
But I was like, there's no way. And also, so he got in trouble for saying gay bitches. And I was like, nope, we don't, like,
It's not a thing.
I cuss around my kids. I have their whole lives. And yes, he could have said a well-placed fuck or a well-placed asshole, but, like, gay bitches is never going to be, there's no way. Like, my kid, there's no way. So anyway, so I asked him about it when he was in kindergarten, like, got him in the car, and he was like, no, there's these 6th graders, and they came up and they said Gabe itches. And I said it, and then they told on me, and he got in trouble. And I was like, ugh, first of all, what are the 6th graders doing hanging out with kindergartners? But second, like, okay, so he got tricked into, and that makes total sense. And he was also like, oh my gosh, I didn't, like, there's no way that I, and I was like, of course, my perfect little kindergartner who never does anything wrong. And I found out this year he's in 8th grade, and he told me that the 6th graders did tell him that, and he knew what it meant, and he was not at after school pickup. He was on the playground, and he saw some of those 6th graders, and he thought it would be funny, and he called them that, and then they went and told on him, and he got in trouble. And it was like, he was like, yeah, I totally knew what I was saying, and I totally knew what was going on, and I was trying to be cool in front of the 6th graders. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you little shit. Like, I would have gone and burned bridges down for that story. There's no way that my kindergarten perfect little child would. And he full on was like, oh yeah, no, I totally knew what it was. I totally did it. And I was trying to be cool. And he goes, and it's like, not that's cool. And, you know, but he was like, yeah, I totally knew what that meant. And I just wanted the 6th graders to think that I was cool. And he was even telling me, because he was like, how lame is that you want some 6th graders to think you're cool? And I just like, yeah, I was like, man, this kid has had me fooled. What else has he done? Right? Like, what else is
There's
all
no
these
telling.
Perfect moments where I mean, he really doesn't get in trouble. So, and maybe he should. I mean, I don't know. Like, yeah, it was really funny. That was a good, like, dose of, wow, my kids like really played one on me, right? When I tell them all the time, like, you can't play me. I know what you're doing. I've done all the things that you think you've done. I've done.
And by a 6-year-old.
I know. Kindergarten. Yeah. Ugh, man. Anyway, so it's funny how you can be with somebody like all the time, and you can still be surprised by them. So this is what like made me think about this, like how much we actually know people and how much we just assume that we do, or we think like we know them. We've known them their whole lives. Mm-hmm. So we know who they are. So that's our theme, knowing someone versus assuming you do. So do you think you're really good at it, knowing people, or do you fill in the blanks a lot?
Oh. I would like to start by saying that I fill in all sorts of blanks.
Right.
I do that all the time. I'm fully aware that if something is left to my interpretation, and I will 100% interpret that in the way that I see fit. And I feel like majority of the time, my interpretation is to make me out that I've done something wrong, that I'm a terrible person.
Right.
So I don't know. I feel like I have a good grip on people. I think I'm pretty good at reading people. And then every once in a while, my mind does just, I think as I get closer to people, I think it's once I start developing a relationship, a friendship, like no matter who it is, I think once I reach a certain level, my brain will automatically go like, it doesn't matter how good you know that person, you're the problem. And then I make up all sorts of scenarios. Right. I do think that there's been a few times where I have been able to recognize that it's not a me problem, and I'm pretty quick to like handle that situation. I don't know. I feel like I do both. I feel like I'm pretty good at reading people, but I'm also really good at making things up completely from out of nowhere.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah. John says my superpower, not that it's a positive superpower, so I don't know if you should call it that, but like I 100% give people like the benefit of the doubt and look for the best in people from the get-go. And it's like, I don't think that's a good thing. It's not because people are inherently bad. It's because I get let down 98% of the time, you know, and it's like, because like everybody starts out up here. Yes. And so, that's unachievable, right? Like I always, like, I assume I know people are true and honest and like my new best friend, and, you know, and like, I just assume that I know people. I assume that everybody is like intention free, anybody who's like trying to get to know me is just because they like genuinely want to like get to know me, not for any other reason, right? And so I think I assume I know people from the get-go, and I get my heart broken all the time, or I get let down all the time, or I get confused all the time, where I'm like, I don't understand how we got here. Like, we're best friends. Like, what's going on?
There was no sign leading into this.
Yeah, like so I just I think that's a big part of my, not necessarily problem, but like my I am modifying the way that I approach casual relationships now. It's not the same way, and it's actually been really nice. Like I don't get taken advantage of as often as I used to, and all the things. So how do you know when you actually know someone versus when you've built a version of them in your head?
Okay, I feel like I've learned this more recently, in the difference between being married to my ex-husband and really knowing exactly what he was going to say, how he was going to say it. So I really had to learn every single thing. I had to pay attention. Every word that was spoken, there had to be a thought process behind it. How do I present this to him in a way that he's going to be open and receptive, or it's not going to make him angry? I mean, there were so many things that I knew him so good to the point where I really could kind of navigate situations, not in like a no conflict way, but in like the least amount of conflict, least amount of damage kind of way.
Right.
And I feel like I went into my now relationship thinking that I'm really good at this. Like I know how to do that. And then I just realized like, oh, I've just carried all sorts of things, and I wasn't taking the time necessarily to know him because I was so reactive in the same kind of way. And so I made up so many things in my head that it would freak me out because like he would respond in a way that I wasn't prepared for, and then it made me think like, well, then this is exactly what's happening. I mean, it's so hard.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I can really think of is like that was really difficult, learning that I was making up so many scenarios about Justin that weren't really there, and then having to like deal with the process of I don't actually know him. Like I need to learn him now instead of just like preparing for circumstances that I feel like I could control. That was a tricky place to be.
Yeah, it's very refreshing to see the two of you kind of fall into each other and drop your like preconceived expectations of each other from past relationships. Like I think I can see that happening for both of y'all, that you have stopped treating him like he's going to react like Jamin, and he has stopped treating you like you're going to react like his ex, or you're going to respond like she would. And so, or, you're going to take a situation or make a situation the way that she would. And that you guys have like kind of settled into the fact that each person is not the ex.
Yes.
Or because I don't know two people who have gotten together who are so attracted to the exact opposite of what they had. Usually you have a type, right? Like usually there's a formula that like excites you or whatever. And how different you are from her and how different he is from Jamin is so blatantly obvious. And I just love that y'all are like appreciative and attracted to those qualities, because that's usually not a thing. I mean, it's just like,
yeah. But it is really tricky. And I feel like I did a lot more of that at the beginning than he did. And I think just in the last couple of months, I've had, I'm trying to make some pretty like big life decisions with moving and like selling and all these things. I'm trying to figure things out. And I don't think I really realized, I don't think he had gone through the same sort of thing until I started asking, like, and then I'm including him, right? Like, I want to know what
Right.
your opinion is. And I don't think I really realized for him, like, I think that was the first time that I saw that version for him. Cause then the way that he was wording things, I was like, I'm asking you though, like but then I could see where like, okay, now he's at the same place that I've been at.
Right.
I went through all that a little bit earlier on like assuming that he's going to react the same way that Jamin did. And then he didn't. And then he was kind of going through the same thing of like, I'm going to say something. Is she going to respond the same way as my ex? And then I didn't. So like, it's a really weird place to find yourself, but you do kind of learn how to know somebody so well, and
Right.
then to just shift that completely and not carry that on like into the next relationship. It's really tricky.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
Yeah. So what does it look like to truly know somebody? Truly know somebody.
I mean, I feel like what I just said a little bit, and I hate to like keep going down that road, but I do think that I knew Jamin so good that I knew, I want to say like I knew how to handle him, and I feel like that's kind of like not a nice way to phrase it, but I feel like it's the truth, right? Like I knew how to word things. I knew when to tell him things. I knew him so well that everything that I said or did, like nothing was spur of the moment. Everything had thought process and planning. It was calculated. I had to be very calculating in everything that I took to him, in the sense to, like I said, to make sure that there was as little damage, conflict as possible. And I feel like that's, I don't know. I feel like that's how you would know somebody. I know like with my kids, I feel like there's so many people where it's like, I know when to go to them. I know how to go to them. I think if you know how to approach somebody, I don't know. I feel like that's the best way of knowing them completely.
Right.
Or knowing if you need to. Like, I feel like you and I know each other so well. I know if I even need to address something, or if I just like, it's not even a big deal. Like,
Right.
It'll blow over.
Right. Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking of. Like you and John, I know not only like how you're going to react to something or how you're going to perceive something or what I need to go to you with or for, but I also know what I need from you.
Mm-hmm.
And I know how to, like, I don't know how else to say it, but like set you up for success to like give me what I need. Right? Like,
yes,
I know if I'm upset about something or if I'm, stressed out about something, I know how to go to both of you to get what I need in that moment. Or I know how you're going to react. And if I need you to react in a different way to support me, I know how to like preface that. I know how to because I know you and I know John and I know how y'all are going to react and I know who you're going to be, but I also know what both of y'all need in your moments, right? Mm-hmm. That sounds very selfish that I'm like, I know what I need from you. And so I set that up. So you give it to me. But I also know like when you're upset, I know how to navigate that. And what you need versus what you want versus what you say you need or you want, like knowing all of those variables.
Those are very different.
They're all very different. And I know what you'll say. I know what you think you need, but I also know what will make you feel better. Mm-hmm. And even if you don't in that moment, right? And so, but I think that's what it means to like truly know somebody is like, I know how to get from you what I need, but I also know how to give you what you need, even when you don't, or even when you won't admit it.
Well, and I think, because I was just telling somebody this story the other day, and I told you this, but I mean, especially coming up, my dad's birthday is tomorrow. We're coming up kind of on his birthday, hospice, death anniversary. So all those things are coming up. But I was telling somebody the other day about, I think it was the day after. So my dad passed late at night in June. And I think it was the next day that you showed up. But I remember telling somebody that it was an overwhelming feeling, because you don't, in those kind of moments, you don't want people around.
Right.
You really want the freedom to kind of feel what you want to feel and what you need to feel. But you also do want to know that somebody loves you and cares about you enough to be there. It's a weird combination of feelings. The grief is a weird combination of feelings in itself. But I was telling somebody, a friend, and I was like, it's really interesting, because to me, I wanted to be alone. And it was me and my mom. And my mom's best friend was there, but she had been staying at the house. She had been helping take care of my dad. She was there when he passed. So it wasn't weird for her to be there.
Right.
But it is hard, because it's like my mom has somebody to kind of lean on, and then it's just me. And so you showed up, and you showed up the next morning. You showed up on the porch. I didn't know you were coming, but you were sitting there. You had a cup of coffee. And I remember walking out on the porch, and I cried, and we hugged, one of the few times we've hugged.
Yeah, we don't do that.
But I remember, because you hugged me, you let me cry, you handed me the coffee, and then you said, I'm here, I'm not staying, I'm leaving. And then you did, you left.
Right.
And I think there's nothing more incredible than the friend that knows to show up for just a minute. I'm going to hug you. I'm going to let you know that I'm here, but I'm going to give you the space, because you know that's what, like, you knew exactly what I already wanted and what I needed. And then you did it. Like, you didn't check with me. You didn't ask me. And to me, like, that is knowing somebody, like, at their deepest, darkest time of their life. Like, knowing exactly 100% how to show up for that person.
I'm going to cry.
I'm not even
Yeah,
crying.
I know. No, it's the thing is that if I would have told you I was coming, you would tell me not to come.
I would have.
And that's what I'm saying is, like, I know what you need versus what you say you need or what you think that you need. But I also know that everybody was going to be there bringing food. And I knew you can't eat what the things that people bring. Like, you have all these
Which is
allergies.
true.
And I knew that there was going to be all this food for everybody else, and there wasn't going to be anything for you. And so, but I knew that if I told you I was coming, you would tell me absolutely not. Like, and you would say, like, I don't want you to come. And so, like, I just showed up because I knew, like, that was the only way I could go. And I brought you something, but then I also, like, gave you, like, I, like, put money in an account for you to, like, order yourself some food. And I was like, and this is for no one else. Like, you're not allowed to order food for your kids.
I forgot you did
Like,
do that.
but you know what I mean? It was just like, I know exactly what's going to happen. And I know all these people are going to come and they're going to be helpful. And you're going to have to, like, talk to all these people. And you don't want just another person that you have to, like, explain it, like, how sad you are and what are the next steps and what are all the things. And for someone to go, what can I do to help? Because I feel like that's, like, the worst possible thing that you can do is, like, go to somebody who is hurting and say, like, what can I do? Because, like, how would they know, right? And so it's like, I know exactly what you need, and I'm not going to set up a dumb food train where everybody in the neighborhood brings over, like, piles of food that you can't eat. And I also was like, somebody will do that. Like, somebody's going to set that up. And so I'm setting this up for you because, and it's only for you. Like, everyone else will take care of your kids. Everyone in the city is going to take care of your mom. Like, this is for you. And I just think, like, that's what it is to know somebody, is to know, like, what is happening and what's going to happen and what everybody else is going to do and where are the holes that you can, like, fix without asking. And, like, if you have to ask somebody what they need, then you don't know them. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like, you don't know who that, like, you, and that's okay. Like, it's okay to not know. But, like, for you to truly know somebody, like, you know what they need. when I'm like sad or upset, like I don't want to be by myself, but I also don't want to sit and talk to anybody. Like, I just want somebody who I can like lay my head in their lap and we can watch like dumbass TV. Like, and I don't want anybody to take care of me. I don't want anybody to like, I'm the worst at somebody like bringing me stuff, right? Like, but I just want somebody
Yes.
to be there and not talk to me. Like, I just want to like sit and it's okay if I cry, but I just like, I don't want anybody to talk to me. I don't want to tell you how I'm feeling or what I need or whatever. Just like sit in a room with me and be quiet, right? Like, and I don't know. I think like that's what it truly means to like know someone. And there's not very many people that I know that. I know when I'm away from you and like we're not around each other and you're upset about something, like I know you're sitting in bed and I know it's dark in your room and I know that you haven't gotten out of bed all day. And so I'm like, go sit outside. Like, go walk around the block. Like, get sunshine on your face. Like, I know what you're doing. I know where you are. Even when you're like, no, I'm fine. I'm getting up and I'm cleaning my house and I have all this stuff done. I'm like, no, you're not. I know you're in bed. And I know you haven't gotten out of bed for 2 days. Like, go outside. Like, you don't have to be with me. I don't have to come rescue you. But, like, go outside just for a second. Like, go outside and look up at the sun. And then go back inside and go to bed. But, like, I know exactly what you're doing. And I think, for me, that's what it means to know somebody. And there's not many people that I know that well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can only think of you. I don't even know John that well. Like,
It's because John doesn't sit in his bed when he's upset
I know,
and refuses to get out of it.
he's a robot. He doesn't have feelings or emotions or any of those things. He just doesn't. He just handles shit. He's like, I'm stressed out. I feel stressed out today. And then he goes about his day. But yeah, no, that's my answer to that. What does it look like to truly know somebody? Okay. I'm going to move on because I don't want to cry anymore. Do you think we assume things about our kids because we've known them their whole lives?
Yes. Yes, and the good and bad. I assume things now to the point when I see like Virginia's teacher's name pop up on my phone.
Yeah.
I'm immediately like, oh my gosh. She texted me yesterday morning at 8:19. 8:19. I'm like, she's not even been at school for an hour. It's been like 35, 45 minutes.
Right.
What could she have possibly done in 45 minutes that I already need to hear from the teacher? And it was to tell me that she was asleep.
She gone to sleep. Yeah.
She fell asleep. But I do automatically assume things, good and bad. Obviously, I think like every parent, we all do tend to think the best. Even that our 6-year-old, whenever he confesses, 7 years later,
Right.
that it's still 8 years later, still hard to believe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard because I feel like I do assume the best. And then I also find myself sometimes like backtracking and I'm like, can I defend him in that? Like, maybe Jones did do something. I mean, there are times. I mean, we did have an issue recently where, like, our neighborhood, the clubhouse, like, accused Jones and his friends of doing something. And my immediate inclination is to be like, no way, not my kid. My kid
Right.
would never do that. And then I got really mad. But then your mind does go, maybe it was my kid.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know him. I mean, and it's a weird mindset to kind of go back and forth and be like, no way, not my kid. Maybe though. Maybe I don't know my kid as good as I thought I did.
Yeah.
And then to find out that I do actually know my kid as good as I thought I did, because it was not him or his friends.
Right.
But it is really weird, like, to kind of navigate all those. And like each kid is so different.
Yeah.
And so like, I mean, between all three, I'm always just like, I don't know. And Ruby is so sweet, but she's so scary and can be
Right.
so mean. And then I look at her and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
She can be pretty mean and ruthless. So like, I don't know. I think Ruby's incredibly sweet, but then I also know what she says to people
Right.
to their face. She's not even shy about it. And I'm like, she might be the mean girl. And I just look at her and be like, I don't know. Sometimes it's so hard. They're so different.
Yeah. No, it's hard. I mean, Harrison's 14, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's the sweetest kid. He's so responsible. He's so dependable, all the things. But I have never in my life met a 14-year-old boy who was the kid that I think Harrison is. So like for me to blanketly be like, oh no, out of the thousands of 14-year-old boys that I've met, he's the only one.
Yeah.
That doesn't think like doesn't act like a 14-year-old boy. No. Like, cause the way that he acts around me, he is so sweet and he's so polite. And everyone tells me, all grown-ups tell me, oh my gosh, he's so polite. He's so sweet. He's so nice. And it's like, and everybody's like, I can't believe he's only 14. Like he seems like he's 16 or 17, the way he carries himself at regattas and, and the way he talks to adults. And I'm just like, dang, that kid, like, he's got everyone fooled. Like, I'm not stupid, right? I'm not. And I'm also not stupid that when I leave him in his room by himself with his girlfriend and they fall asleep together, like wrapped in each other. Like, I'm not dumb. I'm not, I know what's going on. I don't know exactly what's going on because he doesn't tell me, but I just like, I'm not going to be that stupid, right? I'm not going to be that naive. Yesterday he came, I told him, I texted him and I was like, come here. Cause I hadn't seen him. And so he comes in the living room and I get him to like sit down with me and he's like, you're going to make me stay. And I was like, I'm just talking to you. Like, I just want to like, how was your day? And he's kind of grumpy. And I was like, what's wrong with you? Like, you're so grouchy. Like when he's like, I'm just tired. And then, so of course I was like, oh my God, you're tired. You're tired all the time. Are you on drugs? What drugs are you taking? And he goes, ew, Mom, drugs are yucky. And I was like, oh yeah, that totally makes me think that you're not like, I mean, I don't think he's on drugs or anything, but it's just like, oh, that's like 100% like textbook. Like if teenagers wrote a book to tell your parents like, oh yeah, tell them like, I think that's yucky. That's so silly. I would never do that. Like I full on don't think that he's doing drugs, but he's like doing the thing, right? Where you're just like, I'm going to tell my parents this and they're going to totally believe me. And so I do want to be like cognizant of that. Like I'm not going to let my kids pull the wool over my eyes. I do think the difference between Harrison and Henry is like Harrison knows to tell me just enough to like, to like make me feel like I'm involved in his life to where I'll stay off his back. Right. Henry tells me like Henry full on, like he's like
word for word,
this is what happened. And like he tells me when he gets in trouble at school when his teachers don't even tell me. And so like he comes home and he's like, oh man, Mom, this crazy thing happened and I got in so much trouble and I'm so stressed out about it and all this stuff. And he like tells me word for word, which if he wouldn't have, I would have never known.
Right.
And he just like, he's so open and honest about things for him to get in trouble. And he's just like, he's like me, like he just can't help it. I gotta tell you, I gotta tell you what I did, like it's crazy. They're so different, but I can see the manipulation of Harrison. Like I can see it. I can taste it. Like
I feel like that's like a typical boy though.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to give you enough. And then Henry's just over there. I mean, that's what Ruby does. And I feel like it's more of a girl thing. But not, I always feel like it is. And I know that it's not because Virginia's not that way at all. But man, half the time with Ruby, I'm just like, okay, I have heard you.
Yeah.
For the last 30 minutes straight, take a breath.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to know every detail.
Right.
Well, then I went to this room and then this person and then they said this and then I said that. And it's always just like, oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, hold on, what did you just say? And it's the same thing where it's like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't know any of this if you didn't share it willingly. But
right.
like now we're gonna have a talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Henry, man. But I love that relationship. I love that.
Yeah. Because it's like you want to know all the details.
Yeah. I 100%. Okay. In relationships, do you think we stop asking questions after a while because we think we already know everything?
I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that one.
When John and I first started dating, we used to do this thing where it was like, we would say, tell me something. And it would be like, just tell me something. And then one of us would go into this long story about, like I have stories. I have all these stories of wild stories. And
Yes.
we would always just be like, tell me something. And then he would tell me a story about his life or tell me a story about something he had done or, and it was just like, if we were just sitting there like cuddling, that's what we would do. And it's funny because like at one point in time, the last time one of us said, tell me something was the last time. Because we don't do that anymore. Because like we both know all of our stories. Like, and John has to sit through me telling all those stories to all the people I meet. And he's like, oh my God, not again. But it's, I don't ask him questions about his life or what he did or where he came from or because I feel like I know all of his stories.
Well, like at some point you are you are part of it.
Right.
And that's, I don't know because I don't feel like, number one, Jamin, we didn't communicate in that way. I was supposed to be quiet and just not say anything. But I don't know. I feel like right now, like with Justin, it's still new enough that we are still like learning those bits and pieces about each other. But then we're also, reaching that part where like we're just kind of talking about our lives and our we're kind of figuring all of that out together. So like I don't know that I have enough like relationship.
Yeah, I mean y'all are in that like
to
tell me
say.
something part, right?
Right.
You're in that like tell me a story. Like tell me a story about your life and cuz y'all don't know that's like a magical
mine are not
time.
exciting.
They are. You have some good stories.
I don't think so, but okay.
So have you ever realized you misunderstood your partner about something important? I have a gold star on this one.
Ooh, what's your gold star?
Not gold star. I have a like very good
Go for it. What is it?
story for this one. When John and I were married for the first time, like we were both like pretty.
The first time.
We were married for the first time.
Okay.
The first time we were married.
Okay.
We both were like pretty serious about our careers. We were pretty serious about making it like independently. Like he wanted to be the director at his firm. I was trying to go like really far in my career and then left to go do something else that I thought was going to be, to this day is like lightning in a bottle, one of my favorite jobs. And I don't know, we were both kind of focused on that individually. And I really just thought John like didn't like me and didn't have a whole lot of interest in me. Also didn't think anyone else did, like he didn't get jealous. He didn't get jealous of anyone. He wasn't threatened by anyone. And I truly thought that he thought, oh man, if somebody else wanted to take her, like have at, like she's a handful. And I just didn't think he liked me very much. And I asked him, I was like, I don't know, I feel like you don't like me very much. And he said, I don't. Like, he didn't like me. We didn't like each other. We weren't connecting. Like, we had two really little kids. And we didn't like each other at all. And so I left, and he was devastated, and I couldn't understand why. Like, I just didn't get it. I was like, we don't like each other. We don't like being around each other. We don't want to spend time together. We are both in the thick of like building a career and raising 2 little kids. And we're both doing that. Nobody's not doing that. But we don't like each other. Like, I could see him roll his eyes when I started talking. And it just like we didn't want, I thought we didn't want to be together. But he didn't like me, but divorce was never on the table for him. That was never a thing. He never thought that was a possibility. It was never something to consider. So when I was like, I'm out, he was like, whoa, what? Like, what are you talking about? And I completely misunderstood where we were, what we were doing, or I thought we were in a place that you couldn't come back from. And that wasn't true. Like, I mean,
not true.
I found out that if there's any like advice that I could give to married people is that when they call it a roller coaster and they say that there's like ebbs and flows, that like sometimes it comes back. Like when you're down and like we can't get past this, sometimes it comes back. And now that John and I have gone back together and gotten remarried, it hasn't been perfect the second time around, but I at least know that when we go through a hard time,
Right.
that it comes back and you can have all that like brand new love and brand new feeling and excitement to see each other and butterflies and all that stuff. Like, it can come back. I'm not saying it does. I'm not saying it does every time. And I do not recommend getting divorced and getting back together. That is not what I'm saying. But us getting divorced and us realizing that like you can come back and the feelings, there's no resentment and all that things, all those things. Like, John hates it when I say our divorce was the best thing that ever happened to us, because he really struggled and suffered and it was terrible. But now divorce is not on the table for either one of us.
Right.
And like, we have gone through even hard times in the second time around. But at least I know now that it comes back. Like, as long as you're both in it, as long as you're both 100% participatory, like, it comes back. You can't do it by yourself.
Well, and there's that thing, right, where it's like, I'm not going to like you 100% of the time. I love you all the time, but I'm not going to like you 100% of the time, which I don't think everybody does experience.
Right.
I think my misunderstanding was that I thought my ex would still love me and not like me all the time.
Or loved you ever.
He didn't do either one.
Right.
He didn't like me or love me. But I do think that is like, I do think that that's a really hard place to reach as a couple, is to realize that like it's okay that we're not going to like each other all the time, but it is like coming back together and realizing like this is temporary, right? Like, it's not forever. But I mean, I think that that's I would imagine it's a pretty common misconception.
Yeah.
Even in the sense that I thought it was a misconception in my marriage.
Yeah.
That was my mistake. But
also having that freedom in a relationship where I can say like, I don't like you right now. And like, whatever is going on with you, I'm not cool with, and I don't like it. And know that I can say that without ever there being a threat that anything's going to be over.
Right.
And I didn't have that before, but now like we're on the same page. I don't think that we have the best communication skills, but we communicate in a way that we both like and the way that we're both comfortable. And I do think our relationship, I feel like John and I have a better relationship than anyone I know. That, you know, it's not always perfect. It's not always great, but there's a mutual respect there that hasn't always been there. And so it's a respect that like we're in this together forever, and there's not anyone that can come between us. And I think that's also like, you know, pretty new, not new, but in the last few years. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't felt the way that just unstoppable the way that I did before. Even as
that's learning to, like you said, right? Like that's learning how the two of you communicate the
Right.
best way with each other, not how other people tell you to communicate, not what you think is like.
right.
You really did learn. Like that's the whole point of this, right? Like when you really know somebody, like you two, you both really came back together and really learned the other person. Like he really learned you, you really learned him, and then you figured that out then.
Right.
I mean, I think that's like the whole big part. I mean, that's what's beautiful in a relationship that works, is
Right.
that you took the time to get to know somebody and learn how they operate, and you meet them where they're at instead of trying to force them to consistently change how the other person is. And I think like if that's what your first go at marriage was, I mean, I think that's how a lot of people start out marriage, is you're trying to learn to become one person while you're still two.
Right.
Like I'm not going to lose myself, and I'm not willing to change.
Right.
I'm not and like, and at some point when you realize like if we want this relationship to work, like we have to learn how to like meet each other. I have
Right.
to give you what you need, and you need to give me what I need. And like that's how relationships like grow and
Yeah.
are sustained.
Yeah. No, it's true. All right. So in friendships, do you think we know each other really well, or do we still make assumptions?
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't make any assumptions about
I
you.
don't think we make assumptions.
Yeah. I feel like I could build a you from memory. Like I could like exactly like if you went away, it's like I could like build somebody who is like exactly you.
I think it's that thing where it's like, if my best friend went missing, you know, how would I explain them? And it's like somebody like explaining to an officer. Like I feel like we could do that. I could give the physical, the emotional. I could give every aspect and just be like, okay, let me tell you exactly
Right.
every single detail. We're not going to leave anything out. Like, I don't know. The guy's probably going to have a black eye if he took her. Like, she didn't go
Yeah.
easy. Like, there's so many things. I
Right.
feel like we could do that.
Yeah.
The only thing I might get slightly confused on, I might struggle a little bit with the tattoos. I know all the placement, and I know generally which ones you have, but I feel like I might get one or two. I might get the wording wrong.
Oh, I was like, I don't have any with words, but I do. Yeah.
You do.
I have a lot of tattoos though.
You do.
Like,
And that's why I'm like, give me a little bit
Yeah.
of grace, because I know 1, 2, 3,
I mean, you know the big ones.
4, 5,
There's- yeah.
6. I mean, I know most of them.
Yeah, there's 13, but
See?
yeah. I know all your tattoos.
Yeah.
I could even draw them. I could even draw the one that is messed up. I could draw the
You
messed
could
up
even
part.
you could even write one of them exactly as it is.
This is exactly what it looks like because it's in my handwriting.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's man. If you missed that one, I would be upset. Like,
Nope.
I don't know what her 13th one is.
What is it?
Yeah. All right. So, have you ever assumed something about me that wasn't actually true? I did the very first
You
day.
did?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was like,
Yeah.
look at that girl. She has it all put together. Yeah. I mean, like, you were pretty, I would say you were pretty put together back then.
I don't
mean,
feel
as
like
much
I'm
as
any
possible.
less put together.
Um,
Number one, I just do my hair and makeup every day, and I feel like a lot of people judge me for that alone.
Yeah.
I immediately already get that. What I feel like is always really unfair is some of my 3 closest friends that I've ever had have all individually, you have all said that to me. And I'm just like, I don't know what you guys like want me to do.
I think you present yourself as like
Confident,
confident for sure.
put together.
Do you remember that time we were walking through downtown Greenville and Elizabeth said, she was like,
How we walk.
I just want to learn to walk like you guys. Like you guys just walk with such confidence. And I was like, we're just walking. Like, I don't know what that means. I think it's just because we're like a foot taller than she is. And so
I
it
think that's a big
looks
thing.
that way from the ground up. But I don't think, yeah, she was just like, I don't know, you guys just walk like so confident. And I don't know what that means, but
Yes.
we're usually bigger than anyone else around us,
I
bigger
mean,
and
like,
taller, and just like we're not little people.
Yeah.
And so
I mean,
think,
I feel like that's a large part, right? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like automatically we're going to be noticed because we are generally half a foot taller than majority of the women that are in the room,
right.
if not more.
And then if we wear
I mean,
heels, we're
and taller than most of the men in the
men,
room.
yeah.
I mean, it's tricky.
Yeah.
But yeah, you didn't think you were going to like me.
I didn't.
I've been told I look snobby.
I mean, you do. Well, you look like you're like, I don't know, you're always put together. You're always dressed cute. You don't have that, like, I have seen you with I just dropped my kids off at school pickup, but you don't present yourself that way to anyone else. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, your hair's always done, your makeup's always done. And it's always done really well, right? Like, I have a few cycles of what my hair or my makeup looks like, but
It's not always done well.
But I don't come to the office without some makeup on. I mean, I don't do a lot of makeup, but I'll have.
But you know the real me now.
Yeah.
So that's gone.
But I don't know. I assumed you were an Angela Rich when I met you.
Aw.
But
She's sweet too, though.
no, I like her a lot. She's just
Two. Notice I said two.
Two, yeah.
Because me and Angela.
Yeah.
I may not be like the type of mom she is, which, man, I really thought I would be. I thought I was going to be like the most fun, all the arts and crafts. I'm constantly going to be like creative with my children. And then it came down to it, and I was like, I really don't want to. Like, do your own crafts.
Yeah.
I'll give you the supplies, guys. Like, I'm tired. I want to be in my bed.
Homemade Valentines for the whole class every year.
Yeah.
Like homemade Christmas cards. I mean,
I know, but she
I've
does it, and it's
done
great.
some of those things
I did.
sometimes, but I've never I
made the kids Valentine's boxes for the school,
Yeah,
and then the
and
school
then-
was like, no.
Everybody was like, as long as the Roy kids are here, we are no longer participating in homemade Valentine's.
That better not be
boxes.
the case. If they open it up the year after next year, I'm gonna be so mad. But
Yeah, I think you just outshined everyone. So do you think good friends come from knowing someone deeply or just accepting them as they are?
I think it comes first by accepting them as they are.
Right.
And then I think you get to know them deeper, and it like completely shifts. Like, I think getting to that place is like it opens up a whole new level of friendship. But I think it for sure has to start with accepting somebody as they are.
Yeah, I don't know how you become friends without accepting somebody, like true friends. I mean, you
Right.
can be acquaintances and stuff, but like no one is the perfect person.
I mean, aside from me. But you're
Yeah.
right.
Well, of course, like, aside from my best friend, no one else has it that easy.
Yeah.
But no, like, you have to accept somebody for who they are, and because no one's not going to have their like hard times, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, now's a perfect example for you, right? Like, I know that you're not going to be at your best in, like, as a friend or even as a mom or as a daughter or whatever in like this next season of the year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, but like accepting somebody where they are, but also like if I didn't know you, I wouldn't know those things, right? I also wouldn't know like how you are in those times, right?
But I think it starts with the fact that I think what we talk about all the time, right? Because we're polar opposites, religiously, politically, like everything we do, we like with the major standpoints that everybody tells us where we should be divided. And we are divided on those things. But I think like when it comes down to it, I think on a personal level, I think we are very similar. We have a lot of the same like values. A lot of things are very important to us, and we both really stand firm in what we believe. And I think that like the reason we've gotten this far is because there's a very deep level of respect on that we are opposites. But like there's no, and you accept it, I accept it. Like we both are genuinely open to respect what the other person. You've always been wildly respectful when it comes to like my religious beliefs. I love that like we can make jokes and then you'll say one joke and you're like, oh, and I can tell you though, like that was too far.
Yeah.
That was too far. And you're just like, yeah, no, I know. But
Well,
then you like, there's levels of, or you're very protective from the get-go and you're just kind of like, no, like I know that you're not going to like that. You're not going to agree with it. Like I love that there is a very deep level of respect as far as like what we can acknowledge that we're different and we respect it and we accept that about each other. And I think that's where it starts. Like a deep friendship has to start with, I'm not trying to change anything about you. Like I do love the person that you are. And then we like navigate from there.
Yeah. What I was going to say is like politics and religion, that I know that I can make jokes. We can make jokes and it's okay. But as soon as like someone else tries to say something when you're around and I'm like, no, we don't talk about that. You can't say that. Like, that's not okay. Or like, you know, like a conversation goes in a direction and I'm like, we're not going to talk about that. Like, that's not what we're doing, because I'm not 100% sure that that person can be respectful or that person can be, you know, where they need to be in that conversation. And so it's like, let's talk about something else, because I'm going to get pissed before she does. And it doesn't offend me.
Yes.
I probably see the same way as that other person, but I'm going to get wildly offended for you. And I don't think that's healthy in any direction. And so like, let's just not go down that road.
Yeah. But I think I mean, like I know not too long ago, we were sitting at dinner and so you were talking to somebody, we were at y'all's yacht club, and you were talking to another woman and y'all kind of got on those topics, and it's the polar opposite viewpoint of me. Right. And so like, it's hard because it's kind of like, I would like to chime in, but I also know like, I respect you. I don't really know this person. It's learning to just kind of go, I'm going to sit back. Right. Like I'm not going to chime in because I don't want to create an issue. I don't want to have a debate. It is really kind of learning like when to say something, when not to say something. And I think we have both very much learned that level of when to say something and when not to. I mean, and I think I do think we had a lot of that in the first like early years of our friendship, navigating that.
Right.
But I think we had so many great like deep conversations that like kind of got all of that. And then you do reach a point where you're just kind of like, I'm not going to change your opinion and you're certainly not going to change mine. Right. And so like, there's no reason to continue. I love the person that you are, but we're not going to agree. And you do just kind of go, we're going to move on. Like, I know that and somebody recently also was like, how does that even work? Whenever we were like, no, we're opposites. And they're like, how does that even work? And it's like, because it's not my entire personality. My politics are not my entire personality.
Right.
Like, and we're not going to not be friends because we disagree on like who to vote for. Like,
yeah. And I mean, to be honest, like I think it makes you, not you, but people in general, smarter to be around people that don't agree with you and that you mutually respect each other, which it has helped me, because when I'm seeing things in politics or I'm seeing things about religion, I always look through it through a lens that has you involved in it. Because if I see something that I'm like, that is so stupid and I don't understand how anybody could think that, but then I'm like, but how would Brooke look at that exact same news story? Because you would see it completely different than I did. And so it really helps me, because I don't think you're stupid. I think you're very smart. I respect the way you feel about things. And so I can see a lot of the times where certain things are coming from through a different perspective, because I know and love somebody who sees things differently than I do.
Right.
And so I think it's very smart to like have somebody in your life that you like love and respect that
Yes.
sees things a different way, because otherwise if you surround yourself with people who just like think like you do,
Yeah. Agree with you.
you just get like trapped in this like echo chamber of like, and then you're the crazy that everybody keeps talking about. And so I just don't think it's smart. Like I think we have a really good complement of perspectives, because we mutually respect each other.
Yes.
All right. So what's a recent moment where you realized you assumed something that wasn't true? I have one. It wasn't recent, but I have one.
What do you have?
Our friend Erin.
Aw.
The first time I met Erin, I can't actually remember the first time that I met her, but I remember knowing her and being terrified of her. She is a tiny little person who is like physically not scary at all, but she also knows.
She does have an intimidating personality at first.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it was years and years and years ago. And, I don't know. She just has like an existence, right? Like she just like, she comes across like wildly confident. She is wicked smart, but also like, so she is at the yacht club and she literally knows everything. She knows all the bylaws. She knows everything about sailing. She knows everything about every boat you could possibly like bring up. She knows all the rules by number. Like, oh yeah, that's 14.2.5 of some rule book that the rule is this. Like she literally knows everything. So if you want to like walk into a place and be like, oh yeah, well you can't do this. And she'll be like, actually, cause rule 14.5.2 says that you can do that if it's raining or whatever. That's not a real thing, but I'm just saying that like she knows everything. And if you want to like change a rule at the yacht club and you accidentally send an email out and say, hey guys, what about this? She will immediately respond and be like, you can't do that. And that has actually happened to me. And she is like, she knows everything, and not in a shitty way. Like she knows everything. Like she legit knows everything. She's so smart. But she's also a mushy crybaby. And I had no idea. And
yeah.
I used to be scared of her. I've sailed with her. The very first time I sailed with her, we were in a J22 and I had only sailed Lightnings, and not to get into the specifics so you don't fall asleep, but J22s don't flip over, right? They just don't. And Lightnings do all the time. So I'm on the side and I'm trying, like every time the boat heels, I'm trying to like get over to the side so we don't like flip over. And she literally grabs me by my life jacket like this and pulls me in the boat and says, stop doing that. And I was like, okay. Like, and then we were also in the J22. I was doing the jib, and I would wrap the sheets around my hands to pull the jib in. And on a J22, the jib's huge, and you can't do that. You wrap it around a winch. Like, you don't wrap it around your hands, it'll break your hand. It's just too big. It's too much.
I don't know any of the words you just
used,
but aside from hands.
So she didn't want me to break my hands. Okay. And so I wrap the ropes, there we go, the ropes around my hand, and to pull in the sail. And she smacks me in the hand and she's like, don't do that. Stop doing that. And I was like, okay. Like the whole day was a nightmare for me, and she'll tell that story. It's like, oh my God, yeah, that first time, like we went sailing, we had such a good time and it was so fun. But she's so intimidating to me. She knows everything I don't. I don't know, her kids were older than mine, so she knew all the answers, like all the things. She was Commodore at the club. Like she's just so smart and she knows everything. And then recently, I got to know her like like personally gotten to know her. I've gone to Europe with her. We like got in one of those things where the guy like rides the bike and pulls the cart behind, scream singing Taylor Swift, like in the middle of the night, just the two of us. It was so great. Took her to the Shard to have tea for her birthday in London, and she cried and like cried so many times, and she'll tell you a sweet story and cry while she tells you. Like it is, and if anybody tells a sweet story about her, she'll sit there and cry. Like she's the mushiest crybaby of anyone I've ever met. And like I love her, and I was terrified of her. I assumed she hated me for probably a decade until like we got stuck on a committee boat together. And then, and she told me, she goes, ew, you're a mushy bitch too. And I was like, I had no idea. Like, and now we're like so close, and we're such good friends, and we're building a business together. And like, it's just really cool. Like I had the like, not the worst assumption, but like a wrong assumption about her.
I think what's funny about getting to know Erin is, I mean, because I didn't know her. I didn't have any inkling as to who she was. So everything that I heard about her was from you. And I knew that she was intimidating. I knew that she had all these opinions, and she voiced her opinions and like very strongly, right? And she is that way. And I remember you were going to London, like to see Taylor Swift. And I remember you being like, oh my gosh, like I'm going with her. And I remember like, I'm like, okay, like good luck. And you're like, I don't know what to expect. And I remember you coming back and being like, that was the best. Like we had the best time.
Yeah.
And I remember like finally getting to meet her and being like, first off, I was like, yeah, okay. Like I feel like I need to be in line. I feel like I need to be quiet until spoken to. I feel like it's all of those things. But I feel like even recently, like not too long ago, we were at lunch, and I think it was the first time I saw like the real, like legit. I've seen like that she's kind of mushy. She's pretty soft, super, super sweet. Like I can tell she like when she cares about somebody, like she is in.
All
like
in.
She cares about you all the way. And but we were at lunch, and I was talking about something. I think it was just like I was sharing about how different it is after my first marriage and like now dating Justin. And I look over after sharing something, and she's crying at lunch. And I was like, what's happening? And she's like, I'm so happy for you. And but it was so weird because I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, why are you crying? And she was just like, it's so great. It's so great.
Yeah.
But it's so like, it is really great. I think when you do see somebody, and for me, like not having any interactions, only hearing about her and like hearing the stories and then saying that the stories are right, but also that like that the preconceived ideas based off of a few like initial interactions can always completely change and be different. Like it's, I don't know. I really like being around Erin. Like
I wish everybody
she's
knew.
very different than what I thought.
Yeah. Well, and I think she has to like present herself that way, especially at the yacht club. Like she knows what she's doing. You can't walk all over. Like she's going to stand up for what's right. She's going to stand up for what she thinks. And, you know, I think you kind of have to do that there. I just wish I wish everybody got to see, like, she's just so sweet and she's so giving. And like our business, right? She's in charge of the pro bono aspect of it. Like she's the one that's going to do all the the charity part of it. And she's just so passionate. I mean, our whole business was her idea.
That's what she wants.
And and it's just like, I don't know, like I just feel so fortunate to have stumbled upon this relationship and this friendship in this time in my life. Like, you know, and we've known each other for a very long time. I mean, since I think 2007. And so, but for it to like, I mean, I saw her when her kids were babies. I wasn't
it only
married.
took like 17 years.
Yeah. I mean,
18 years.
19 years. Yeah. We're in 2026. So yeah, I mean, it's better than never. Anyway. All right. So what's one thing you could ask instead of assume? Or who in your life might you not know as well as you think you do? Those are like two separate things because I don't know what that first one means.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the answer to either one of those. Who do I not know?
Great closing. Who in your
Yeah.
life might you not know as well as you think you do? I mean, for me, and not in a bad way, but I truly don't think that I know my kids as well as I think I do because they don't know themselves. Like I can't help but look at Harrison and see toddler Harrison. And that is not who he is, right? I do know him. I know every aspect of it. I know every inch of him. I know where all his freckles are. I know where all his hidden freckles are that no one else will ever know. And I know every fleck of gold in his eyes. Like I know every hair
So
on his
beautiful.
head. But I mean, like I do, but he doesn't know who he is. So how could I know who he is? Like
Yeah,
they're
don't know.
discovering who they are. And so I do think I know them better than anyone else on this planet, but I don't know who they're going to be.
I don't know who they're going to be, but I feel like I know who they are in this moment as they're discovering it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I find that one a little bit tricky because I do feel like I feel like I know my kids well enough to know, I feel like I know what they're struggling with. I feel like I know what they're going through. I feel like I know what they are excited about. I feel like I know them really pretty well. I mean, do I know them exactly? No, because they are still figuring that out. But I feel like I know who they are in this moment. Like I feel like we talk all the time.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like I'm out of anything. I mean, I feel like if I don't know somebody well right in this moment, I feel like in this season of life, it's probably my mom and my brother. But I think a large part of that is because we all kind of found ourselves single and alone at the same time.
Right.
With my dad's passing, and then Jamin and Sarah both decided to leave essentially at the same time. And I think we relied on each other and we leaned on each other so much. But now as life is kind of moving on and I'm dating, Adam is dating, my mom would like to, I think there's so many things that now we were such a strong unit and now we're all kind of finding that next phase of life for ourselves.
Yeah.
And so we don't know each other maybe quite as well in this new season of life. But that's the only thing that I can really think of.
Yeah. I think if there's anybody that I don't know as well as I think I do, I probably don't know them very well. And I probably don't want to. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
if there's anybody that isn't who I think they are, I'm probably not that good of friends with them. Because I feel like the people that I know well, I trust that I do. Who I know is actually who they are.
Right.
But yeah, for me, I think my kids are in this season of change.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they're bad people or anything. I do feel like they are finding out who they are.
Oh, yeah.
And who that person is on the other side of this. I have no idea they're going to be great people. They're going to be incredible.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to do great things and they're going to be incredible people. But I find that they don't make the choices that I think they would make, even as on something as simple as like what they're going to drink or where they want to go on their next vacation or, like what concert do they want to see next. They don't choose what I think they would choose. Mm-hmm. And so I'm finding that they're like changing their interests and their priorities and their, where they want to live when they grow up is different than it was 6 months ago. And so I think, and I'm excited about it. Like I'm excited about seeing who they are and, where
I'm
this moment in time takes them.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I feel like this is a good place to stop.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So here we are. We're
still here.
Bye.